Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ace and Nectar Heroes of the Storm casting podcast. We are here for our second episode of Season 9. Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty well.
Tonight, what do we got? What do we got tonight, Ektar?
Tonight we have Spooky Ghosts versus Roll1Esports from Division B West, which are teams I believe we've played in the past. But not
we
the
played
recent
both
past.
of them last year.
Last year?
No, we played them last season.
Okay.
Technically, also last year.
Fair, I suppose.
We played Roll1Esports early in the season. We played them like 2 or 3 times in NGS history now.
Mm-hmm. And Roll1Esports we've been going against since like Season 3.
Yeah. And still have that favorite game of 536 or 541 or whatever.
Is that who we played that game against? Oh my
Sure
gosh,
was.
I'm so sorry.
It was a boss fight to end game 1. It was a crazy team of the Spider Queen. They win game 1 and we win in 5.5 minutes in game 2. But I'm sure they don't want to hear about that.
Absolutely not. It was so long ago.
Yep. But we do have a Spooky Ghost who took a game off us last season when we let Eric with an AK. God damn! I have done that so much. Eric with a K.
Yeah, but to be fair, Eric with an AK is so much more threatening.
It really is. Even though you'd have to have "and," but it would be Eric with AK. But still,
you actually said it with an AK.
I know I did.
You added the N and the
I know because
other A.
It's an automatic thing. I see Eric. I know it's with an AK, and you just Either way, he plays a really good Medivh, so pick band tier for Roll1Esports here.
And we're going to see if we're going to have that first band as we get into game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And in case you're wondering how you got to Tomb of the Spider Queen and you don't feel like reading because this is in fact a podcast, the coin toss was won by Roll1Esports. They opted for first hero pick. Spooky Ghost banned out Dragonshire and BOE. Roll1Esports banned out Volskaya and Alterac, and Spooky Ghosts are taking us to Towers of Doom for game number 1. And I wouldn't generally think that this is a really good Medivh map, and then I saw Darabo and Regen Anomaly play on this map, and I've been converted. This is definitely a Medivh map.
Yeah, when you can portal from, like, what is it, enemy sapper to mid-keep, and just, like, constantly rotate around mid-bottom. There goes Medivh.
Hey, look,
bye-bye.
First ban material.
They did their homework. As of, like, 2 seasons ago when they also had to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah. By the way, I want to shout out that Spooky Ghost logo. I actually really like it.
It's pretty good.
I'm a big fan of them, and how they do the little Spooky Ghost to enter every... to show that they're ready.
Yes, all 5 of them. Unfortunately, you guys are not privy to the pre-drafting screen, but when they want to indicate that they're ready, they will each use a different ghost emote in chat, and it comes out looking like a little ghosty dance. It's pretty adorable.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones in the league we've seen from readies. I remember, I think it was against Season 8 when Roll1Esports was having a little bit of a struggle bus, and then they picked up Wonba and they picked up Malfurion, and they like tore through the middle section of B West, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. We never got to see that, but I'm kind of curious if we're going to be able to see that tonight.
Seeing a lot of 2020 bans coming out right now, with the Mephisto and the Rhaegar, both of them exploding in popularity, and Li Ming has always been a ban, honestly. There's never been a time where, like, you ban Li Ming and everyone goes, I don't like that.
Yeah, Li Ming's always fair enough. If you give up 1 kill, you can give up all the kills, and that's a dangerous thing. Interesting first pick Ana here from Wonba.
She is one of the most popular healers right now, and I do think she's maybe first pick worthy. However, this does give your opponents the opportunity to first pick their preferred tank, and they're opting to do that in the form of Johanna. However, with Ana, she can be dove upon. Johanna can run at her a little bit. Greymane can jump at her. So it's very possible that this Ana ends up being a fine pick, but it's just a little bit scary picking her that early.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Kilthos and ETC picked up now, and those seem... That's a nice little three-man core.
It really is.
So, no arguments there. Got to pick up that tank before the ban phase.
However, it's worth noting that we're playing Towers of Doom in 2020, which means the name of the game is Double Soak.
Yes.
Neither of the teams have committed to it yet.
Nope.
Banning out the Zool is really smart.
Not only is he, I mean,
he's still really good. And,
right.
Not quite as oppressive.
But they have pick.
They do have pick, but that could just be that they don't want
him
specifically.
Reasonable.
And if they were already planning on picking up a Malthair or a Leo, like Zool does soak better than either of those two.
Yes, strong agree. That's an interesting decision from Roll1 because,
really
as you just said, there's Malthair, Leo, and Zool as like the S tier
double soak heroes,
double soakers, and they just took 2 of them off the board, and it's Spooky Ghost's pick, so they can just take Leo now. They might not. They might want to save it for very last pick, and that gives it to Roll1. But
I can't imagine they don't pick up a double soak hero, probably Leo here.
Okay, so they don't.
That's so interesting to me. So there's a couple of possibilities. First off, they don't double soak, and they do a solo lane in the top lane and try to double soak mid bot as 4. They try to do a 1-3-1, or they're going to pick up their double soak in the last pick up here.
Which is generally the likely thing to match up, but
doing that, they give over Leo,
they give up Leo, which is interesting.
The generally best double soak hero remaining left in the game. I've seen Dahaka run as a double soak hero, but he doesn't quite hold up to the 2 that are banned and the 1 that got picked.
Yeah, he can be like the A, B tier kind of hero. He can, with race car, you can rotate fast enough, but it's does he contribute as much in the fights? He does have the global, are we going to get tier zoo on this here, Ektar? So I think we're... Ooh.
So Yrel, I think, is also in kind of that B tier double soak range.
Yeah. You think she goes the mount talent at level 7?
It's
because then you're fast enough.
It's true, and she does have like the damage and wave clear, but she's just a little bit slower at it, especially after 4 when Leo picks up Neo Peasants.
Yeah, I don't even know that she has the damage for it though. It takes her a while to clean lanes out. She usually wins solo lanes with pure healing, so it feels like this is more of a 1-1-3 style composition, or a traditional soul lane style, rather than the surfacing double support or double soak comp that has gained popularity. You remember?
So now that we've got the team comps coming out from both teams, go ahead and vote in the poll. Who you think is going to win game number 1? FPS Nate flexing his own emotes. Nice to see it. Good to see you here, Nate. Also dropping the baby rage, because is there a more accurate emote for Nate? I don't believe there is one. But we have spawning in the blue trunks on the left-hand side. They are Spooky Ghosts with Little Wolf playing Manduin, Kalidus playing Gul'dan, Rogoth playing the Johanna, Eric with a K on Yrel, and Boundary X playing Greymane.
And in the red trunks on the right side of the map, we have a Roll1Esports with their even matching battle tags. How good for them. Rock Your World on ETC, Poe on Kel'Thas, Zad on Falstad, Wanba on Ana, and Big Beard on the Double Soak Leo.
Checking out the level 1 talents. First off, Renew on Anduin, which I always find to be an interesting pick. Also, Little Wolf is the only one not on a sad cloud, reported.
Yeah, and he also didn't run with scissors, so 3 questionable decisions coming out already this early in the game. Definitely a little tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it is in fact Prog Rock coming out, and we got the Wingman from Falstad, so not a surprising pickup in the slightest. And we have both teams clearing out mid, rotating their beefy boy up to the top lane, and rotating their 4-man down to the bottom lane. Spooky Ghost getting there just a little bit faster.
Yeah, they were able to grab good position on that first minion wave, so the Johanna wave clear augmentation worked out for them, and it does appear like they're going to be doing, well, I thought they were rotating mid, then Yrel rotated down,
Yeah,
so...
Yrel's doing actually alright right now. Mostly I think that Leo is a little bit low. She does get ganked upon pretty hard, but she should probably be able to get
Yep,
down
she
very
is...
low for it, though.
Yeah, she is going to have to tap, and she is going to miss Soak up top.
However, Soak was also missed in the bottom lane by Roll1Esports. Most of it got picked up by Zad, but I think they missed a little bit.
Yep. And I'll take it back, Yrel only missed one minion up in the top lane, so... You can do that every once in a while, but you can't do it consistently.
Right.
So.
If she receives another gank like that, she'll have to full back, and that's going to be a really bad place for Spooky Ghosts to be. Although they did pick up their camp nice and early, which is really good for them.
Yep, it does grant a little bit of that XP that they may have been down. What is it? Mercenary XP 90. Never mind. It's literally a minion and a half worth of XP, Akhtar.
Yeah, it's really not a lot. If you don't get the push value off of it, it's almost worthless.
Yeah, I am surprised it's that low, actually.
I do think it scales over the course of the game.
Yeah, but not much.
Yeah. We do actually have, before level 4, Eric with a K is beating Big Beard in the double soak game.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm
really
surprised
all
that
I
Leo
have to say about that.
Yeah, he hasn't snap picked Neil Peasants yet. He has got it now, though. As an invade is here in the bottom lane, Spooky Ghost trying to go in. Greymane takes a lot of damage and gets an anti-heal, so he's in a little bit of trouble. And
we did have Leo rotate down, so they're not going to be able to actually do anything with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, lots of flash, but nothing out of the ordinary happened in the end.
Yep.
Roll1 gets their camp, and we go to first altar phase.
Yeah, and as you would expect, both teams agreeing to Gentleman, the one on their side of the map, and they're really going to fight over the bottom point. We do have Roll1Esports coming in a little bit late. Falstad isn't here yet, however, bot lane Mercenary camp is getting cleared out by the Spooky Ghosts, so their lane's going to be crashing in, maybe trying to make their opponents miss a little bit of XP. And in the long run, that can actually go pretty well for them.
Yep, Rogoth goes in, takes an aggressive position, and forces Roll1Esports to back out. Yrel joining the fight from above, making this a 5v4. Rock Your World could be in a weird spot if his slide gets interrupted, and it did. No, it didn't. He escapes with 56 HP. Who needs health bars? He doesn't, as Leo rotates down in.
Yeah, lots of damage being put in all over the place. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the interrupt. They are not. And that is going to be slight advantage in shots going over to Spooky Ghosts, but on the other hand, they are a slight bit ahead in XP, and they've already got their soul laner back into the top lane, so going to be able to get hopefully a little bit of XP lead from that.
Yep, they'll continually have that slight advantage. Leo is going to get better at clearing those waves. We'll have to see what Yrel goes at the level 7 if we see that mount. I do not know the name of it because I don't see Yrel enough, but the mount talent on 7 or something like Avenging Wrath.
Interesting, they did go into Hand of Freedom, which is going to pair very nicely to get rid of some of those roots and slows. It is the Divine Steed is the
Thank you for picking that. Ooh.
Lots of damage coming into Rock Your World there. Not going to secure the kill, but gets him to below half hit points. And just showing that they have the potentially superior teamfight ability in this 4-man. I think that they do, especially with the Greymane compared to the Falstad, as a big sticking point in teamfight ability.
Strong agree with that. Zad takes a crap ton of damage, could not dodge due to that subdue on Johanna, and the ability of Johanna just to walk in and say, you're going to not dodge this, you're going to take this damage is pretty good.
Checking out the XP totals real fast, we've got 6,500 for Leo and 6,200 for Yrel, so Leo a little bit ahead, but, you know, not a lot of bit ahead.
Yeah, and it was only by roughly the margin of clearing top lane faster, which isn't nothing, as now Yrel is up 180 XP, but it does allow Leo to go ahead, get in position faster, and channel the objective, tying up this game at 32 health apiece on the core.
Ooh, and they are going to try to make a 5-man engage in the bottom lane. This is before either team has heroics, so not going to be able to see any Entomb engage come out. And because of that, the members of Spooky Ghost just casually back away from the teamfight engage, and it allows Yrel to get into the top lane and get a little bit of extra XP advantage on top of Leo.
Yep. I did not see that there's a bottom lane, far bottom objective, so those actually traded out 1-for-1.
I believe there always are for the first two, aren't there?
Yeah, I would. I've played this game only a few hours, and I'm very new here.
Yeah.
Eric with a K should know after a few hours of play not to face check a bush, but he does it anyway.
But hashtag Yrel things gets out just fine.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of damage that went out. There wasn't like a problem with the CC combo. Yrel just lived. That's Yrel things right there, and level 10's picked up.
Yep. And looks like we have all of the expected level 10s with one glaring exception in the form of that Pyroblast.
There you go.
So look forward to a Nano Pyroblast coming out at some point in this game.
Well, judging by mechanics of how it works, so you'll see the Pyroblast, and right before it hits, you see the Nano.
Yep, because that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but you know what? That is the opposite of how Blizzard does it in other games, but
yeah, I think
whatever.
I think that is how it works these days. We do have Eric with a K getting engaged upon. He does pop the Ardent Defender. I don't know if it would have ended up being necessary there. The heal cut grenade made it so he didn't actually heal any of the damage that he would have taken, so it's hard to say exactly how much damage was prevented with that, but both teams continuing the gentleman's agreement to not actually take any team fights. As you can see, we have 0 kills on both sides.
But yet it's been close.
It has been close, but it's been a very passive game so far.
Oh, don't leave the... Oh, they left 3 minions in mid. Spooky Ghosts. Those were so low, but they do want to defend their... Sapper's bottom. Mosh comes in from the back. Only hits 1, but it isn't going to be interrupted. Nano Pyro coming out. Nano does stay equipped through that whole thing. Boundary X is going to have to retreat out. Leo's joined this fight. Nice gust from Zad to push it Gul'dan into an awkward corner, and there is first blood of the game.
Right at the 8-minute mark. Honestly, I still think that favors Spooky Ghosts. Because Yrel was top the whole time.
Yeah, it depends on... I mean, Leo's not going to miss much soak is the thing.
He's not going to miss much.
Minions. And he can come back faster.
It's true.
As far as he can clear waves. They do have a global in case they really want to not miss soak.
Yeah, but this does give position in the bot lane so that this camp should just get cleared lickety-split from the members of Spooky Ghosts. We did have Falstad go back, and it's going to take the slow rotation back to lane, but really nothing was lost from that hero kill.
Yep. It was kind of just a dominance assertion. The teams were itching to fight, and they just... It was fight time, Brightwing understands, and I'm sure you do too.
Brightwing is wise beyond her years. I don't know how old she is, but she is wiser.
She's wiser than that.
Big engagement coming out onto Zod. He gets the barrel roll, but the follow-on with the light bomb is going to continue to hit. Big damaging slug coming out from Johanna. However, the fire bombs from Kel'Thas doing a lot more damage than the light bombs Xander was putting out. Kaleidos gets very low and is going to go down a second time. And all in all, the members of Spooky Ghost at this point are just a little bit lower in hit points than their counterparts on Roll1, and they're going to trade out 4 shots, which will put them even in shots total.
Just like I predicted several minutes ago.
Yep. We do have the continued living bomb build coming out, although it's a bit of a weird one with backdrafts. It's not a talent I see taken very often.
No, that's definitely the weirdest one of the 3 living bomb talents on that tier, but no, they all have utility in some kind of way.
It's true, and we do have a camp invade coming in. However, Roll1 deciding not to stay invading, as they did see that Eric with a K was close enough to rotate in. Krogoth putting a lot of damage in onto Rock Your World and is going to go down. That was a really good Curse Bullet coming out, chunking out full health ETC down to 70? It's 30%, right? 40, so chunking him down to 60%.
Yeah, it's a
good talent. And it's
Curse Bullet's really good. It's really good.
It's
like
so short.
I actually think it's kind of insane. I mean, that's so much damage so fast, and that was the first Blessed Shield engage that worked out. Zad's been able to roll away each time, making the follow-up miss, but rock your world with no such luck, and is finding himself back in the Hall of Storms for now as Spooky Ghost crash 3 sappers in and go ahead and knock the bottom keep down to 40% health or so.
Isn't it still a fort until 12:30?
I think they're all called keeps, but you might be right. That might be like a really small technicality.
I mean, they give away fort XP until. Well,
there's no XP.
You're right.
It's all passive.
Oh
no, not on this map.
Yeah,
not on this map. You're right. You're right. I will keep my mouse over it, as 11:30 is coming up soon, but the objective's coming up sooner as Poe is trying to channel it, but is ticked away by Gul'dan.
Yeah, we do have, once again, the gentleman in the top left and top right. This time we do have a faster rotation coming out from Leo than the previous time where Yrel was able to provide a lot of early engagements until Leo got there. We did have the Blessed Shield come out that missed entirely. The Light Bomb does hit out onto ETC and is going to secure that kill. We've got the Light Bomb coming in into Eric with a K. He does have ult, pops it, and heals off nicely from it. Rogoth, pretty low, is able to sidestep some of that damage. A lot of damage being put into Poe. Pops the Arcane Barrier, and it gets brought down immediately. Kaleidos gets put into the Entomb and is going to fall for the 3rd time, but, I mean, Johanna died at some point there. We do have still a 3 for 3, but a lot of additional healing is coming out from Ana during this team fight, and Big Beard, very low, is going to get taken out.
2v2. We've got Boundjax and Little Wolf against Zad and Wanba. Little Wolf, though,
get taken out, though, it looks like.
He saved himself. He had 6 HP. He had 6 HP, Ektar. And Big Beard's ghost form now going to possibly matter a lot. Zad and Big Beard zone out for Wanba. And that was cool.
Yeah, it was.
Channel goes over to Roll1.
We also had 16s get picked up at that point for both teams, so go ahead and check out those talents. We do have the Spooky Walk coming out from 13 to 16 from Leo. Anduin going into the new 13 for Divine Star, which I think is a really cool one. And going for Inner Focus, which is a lot of XP heal throughput. Interesting going for Life Tap on 16 instead of Ruinous Affliction. What do you think about that, Ace?
That's real interesting, because 25% spell power.
There it is. 13-15 is when that came out. That said the towers have upgraded.
And it now becomes a keep. They get more health. And I think it's like a random time between 13 and 14 minutes or something. I forget. I'd have to brush up on my math objectives, but yeah, that's you know what? Today I learned.
Yeah. We do have a big engagement coming out. This is going to be bottom port going out. Certainly, there's no way that this actually survives, although we do have Rock Your World looking for a big flank engage. The Blessed Shield came out to try and peel, ended up missing, but, I mean, ETC walking back is peel enough in a lot of these cases. It looks like, well, they do have Eric with a K here, so they're trying to find a 5v4 fight, but Roll1's not going to give it to him. Leo is coming in from the side now, does engage onto Eric with a K. And it looks like Eric's going to get out. Roll1 are going to back away, and Spooky Ghost are just going to take position on this bottom keep to try and make the defense here.
Yep, Johanna able to step up again, has gotten a consistently large number of 2 and 3 player subdues lately, especially due to that conviction talent on for letting her step up a whole bunch. So that's been consistently causing problems for Roll1Esports, so we'll see if they can do anything about that in the future.
Big Beard did take a pretty large amount of damage, but was given the sufficient amount of time for Ana to get him basically completely topped up, so no significant punish from the kind of face-checking and stalking behind that he was doing before. Kiltas trying to get the channel out. We do have a big stun coming up from Johanna as they follow up, chunking out a ton of damage. Actually, people getting caught, so not getting pushed away by Falstad as much as you might have thought. We do have the Nano Boost staying on long enough for it to land onto Kaleidos, but not enough damage put into him for that to actually be meaningful. Wanba is pretty low, getting chased down by Eric, probably not going to actually find the kill. Zod is going to have to hard to get on out of there, and that is going to be the objective, going over in favor of Spooky Ghosts, putting them up exactly 1 shot at 15 minutes and 20 seconds into the game.
It's a close game. They're up 1 shot, up 1 kill, but it seems like things are going their way for the most part when they're able to get off these Blessed Shield, Light Bomb, into Horrify kind of engages, all hitting that same kind of area, so it's going to be on Roll1 to try and change it up, and get a little bit different of engages going down.
Couple of important things. We see that Urel is double soaking right now, which is generally what she should be doing. Big Beard is not. He's in the bottom lane trying to put some damage into this bottom fort with the rest of his team, and there's advantages and disadvantages to that. Obviously, it lets them try to get this fort back, but they're losing out on the race to level 20, which is huge. They are going to try and make a 5v4 fight under this building, it looks like. If they can land a good Entomb or a good Mosh, they can get a really nice team fight here, and that fort is very low. It's going to fall, so if they can make a fight happen, it's going to be very good for them because they're up that one hero.
Yeah.
But
thankfully for Roll1, I think the objective will spawn after they have chance to get level 20, but they won't be able to do any kind of major engages for a while once this level 20 is picked up for Spooky Ghost, but we'll have to see as the 5-man continues here in the bottom lane for Roll1. And you know what? Because they haven't rotated up, they definitely have missed all the soak in all the lanes, and they won't get 20.
Yep, and there's actually a pretty significant amount of damage going into that top fort. If they win a team fight convincingly on the side of the Spooky Ghost, they could just take that fort before they get the channel out really easily. Checking out the 20s, we have Second Pull coming out from Manduin, Haunt from Gul'dan, Radiating Faith, Basic Ability, Curse Bullet, and I have no idea what that is. Unstoppable for 20% of the game coming out from Eric with a K.
That's pretty good. That's
really
a lot of unstoppable. Pretty good. Big Beard is going to take a crap ton of damage, but because of their positioning aggressive, Zad was able to just channel the altar and essentially force a gentleman's trade down level 20. So big advantage there for Roll1.
Yeah, really well played by them. We still have both of the soul laners. Well, missed spell shield. It's unfortunate. Both of the soul laners are still double soaking. I feel like that's almost objectively wrong at this point. Like,
yeah, now that
you're level 20,
Leo's coming in for cleanup, and then he's going to drop the Entomb like in the next 10 seconds or so, as he's just chasing him, trying to chase him down, but no dice on the engage. Urel headed back up to the top lane, so 5v4 again.
If Urel is given like another 10 seconds or so in the top lane, she could get that top fort by just crushing that wave again. And that could work out pretty well for them, because you might convince Roll1Esports that they need to take it back. They don't, I don't believe. But that could work out really well for them, as we do have a bush party coming in.
Big Beard
seeing that people are in there, and a big flank coming in. Buried Alive comes out, but it gets pulled immediately. Little Wolf saving it. Mosh Pit coming out. There's the second pull to save Boundary X. We do have the attempted Pyroblast gets interrupted. A lot of damage coming out onto Kalidas in the back. Big Beard is right next to Greymane. It's going to start taking a lot of damage. Huge Light Bomb coming out, hitting out onto 3. Big Beard is going to be the second one to fall there. Quanba is probably going to be third. He's getting chased down under towers. 50-something hit points does not survive. Boundary X is able to take out ETC, who gets the two-person Death Mosh. But Zod is going to be the only person probably making it out of there. Still looking to try and find something, but I don't think he's going to find it.
No, but with tower aggro, he might be able to sneak one out. Urel had to run away pretty quickly. Are they going to delay? Are they going to get top?
They shouldn't.
They did.
Oh,
they got it.
They did get top. That still doesn't give them the end, but it'll be only one shot left. Then it's 20 seconds until people start coming up. I want to see Spooky Ghost just run at boss right now.
Yeah, they can run at boss.
There. The rest of the team looks like they might be headed there. Yeah. And there's still 20 seconds on ETC and Ana. You've got to make this boss play.
And they've got Greymane. They've got Greymane Gul'dan, man. That's so much damage.
Rogoth did stop to tap up. Little Wolf not doing the same.
Nope.
I really don't feel like there's anything that they're going to be able to do about this. This is going to be game number 1, going in favor of the Spooky Ghosts, winning on their map pick. Unless something crazy happens.
Unless something crazy happens.
Dad, you're crazy.
False Dad. Do it. Do it. We may have called it too soon, Ektar. Here comes
okay, the Unstoppable comes out, and the Haunt. There
that's it. Yep. Okay. Maybe a bit too soon. They will pick up a kill on Manduin. No, they won't. No just consolation barely. For the losing team. Spooky Ghosts, as mentioned, pick up game 1.
Don't suppose you ever saw what the results of the poll were, because I've only got the one monitor, and it doesn't show up on my phone.
Chad was all-knowing, of course.
Oh, always.
It doesn't matter what they picked. They were just correct.
View results. We had 100% of the vote going over in favor of Roll1Esports. All one single vote for
Hey, thanks,
Roll1Esports. Appreciate you. Checking out the endgame screen, I don't know if there's actually all that much notable here right now. Like, Gul'dan chucking out some pretty good damage. Anduin and Ana both chucking out some pretty good healing. Yrel did end up beating Leoric in the end, but I think that's... A big part of that is the way the end game shook out when he was still double soaking and Leo was trying to force a 5-man engage.
Yeah. Yeah, big shout out to was it Little Wolf that made the double pull work, because I don't see that talent often, mainly because I play with you on Anduin the most, and you do not take that talent much. But that was I mean, it saved from the Entomb and then saved from the Mosh. Like, 2 huge post 20 ults. Really made the difference there. And then with all the ults down, Spooky Ghosts were able to just run it back at Roll1 up, 5 ults to 2? It was fantastic. So, big play there from a lesser taken talent.
Yeah. Popping back to the between game screens, we have confirmation Roll1Esports are going to want first hero pick again, so Spooky Ghosts opting for, or are going to have to choose their next favorite unbanned map. And based on the way that that game went, do you think that there is any significant map that favors them?
I'm trying to think of what's banned / stalling for your stream to go back to that screen so I can check it. I don't know. Shrine's easy map to play on. Is that banned? No, it's not banned. I'll take a guess. I'll take my guess at Infernal Shrines, because, I mean, you got Braxis. Nobody likes Braxis, really. It kind of made it in as 10th map. Sky Temple's the least picked map in the pool, so you'd be statistically disadvantageous picking that. Tomb feels really crappy right now. Cursed Hollow is maybe a possible pick, and Shrines is like everybody's favorite map. So,
give me the crown ace. What do you do with the crown?
There you go. There you go. Joining game. Cursed Hollow. I did say that was second pick. That was second pick. So, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked Pikachu here.
Haha.
It did the thing. But, yeah, good map to go to.
I love the fact that all the members of R1E have R1E at the start of their name, because that makes it really easy to place people when they join the lobby.
It really does. Or when teams have matching portraits, it helps as well.
Yeah.
That works out quite nicely.
Alright, so Cursed Hollow, what do you think we're going to see here? Because it is not a particularly similar map to the previous one.
No, it's not. Towers of Doom is kind of like the middle map between being a big map and a small map, which I think makes it really cool. But I don't know. We banned Curse Hollow a lot, so we didn't see these teams play on it last season. And yeah, they do. I'm wondering if we'll see some kind of like Tyrael play, some kind of
Morales play.
I
don't think we're going to see Juice Pirates, but I have never successfully been able to cast a Juice Pirates game. I got really close once, but then they accidentally picked Stim Drone in the heat of the moment.
Clutch.
I would like to see Abathur played here, though.
Of course.
Abathur, I'd say this is probably his second best map by a fair margin.
I would say it's best or second best because you can triple soak with the objective.
That's true.
And then your team can do anything. 4-man push, you got it.
Yeah. It's definitely this map in Sky Temple or the S tier Abathur maps.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. By the way, if you want to set yourself to referee or whatever.
No, you can keep it.
Just me? Okay. That's a little special. That means I do have a...
It means you can see all the draft chat and comment on things that I can't do.
I couldn't do it last time. I was spectate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see the bans from Roll1. They do have first pick, I don't know if they have an Abathur player on their team, but you know, we'll just have to see. I'm looking to see some Abathur play, but also kind of expecting an Abathur or a Medivh picker ban.
Yeah, we did see the immediate Medivh ban. This is also another good Medivh map. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be terribly surprised to see Eric with a K getting target banned a second time.
Not surprising whatsoever. It's what do they want to do with that second ban? Do they want to pick an Abathur, ban an Abathur, or let an Abathur through?
You know, this
Those
is also
are-
a fair Deathwing map, if they're looking to do something kind of like that.
Yeah, something globally. That seems reasonable. Deathwing kind of fallen off after his, 15th wave of nerfs?
Slightly fewer nerfs than Demon Hunter have gotten in Hearthstone.
I don't even think we're quite there yet. Let's see. Deathwing is sitting at a 52 win rate globally, which is
About where Demon Hunter is at, if I'm not mistaken.
above average. He's in the top 20 according to Hero's profile. HSReplay.net has Demon Hunter sitting at 51.7. So Deathwing confirmed better than the Demon Hunter class right now.
Nice. Eric, we have successfully admonished Rogoth into being a trash panda. Are they hinting that they might take Chen this game? Is that what that means?
I think it's their portrait.
I see.
Blessing upon friends.
So
I just got a notification from Streamlabs. I don't know what it is. I think maybe someone just followed, and if so, thank you very much. And also, phone, why are you not telling me about these things?
can I see your activity feed with the mod view? Let's see.
I don't actually know.
Oh my gosh, this mod view. It's
OMG
not...
Alberto, thank you for the follow. I don't know why my phone view isn't showing me that, but tapping up for the stream manager, we got it. We do have the readies coming out from the Spooky Ghosts, and just gonna verify with R1E that they're in fact still ready, starting game.
Cool.
Hopefully Little Wolf was threw in that no just for some other reason. Not 100% sure. Anywho, getting into draft number 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll1Esports. We've got game 2's draft booted up. Spooky Ghosts picked the map as they were forced to. So
we had Roll1 opting for first hero pick. I want to see what they're gonna do with it. I don't think that the Ana was bad per se. I think it was fine, but I don't know that it was enough to say yes, we need first pick for this Ana.
I tend to agree. Medivh banned out again. Very, very reasonable.
Eric with a K. Understandably a little upset by that. Not able to play his one trick. Should have probably joined the one tricks to join along with them, but
yeah, you know.
Rock Your World saying never again. Murda, thank you so much for the raid of 16 people.
Big raid.
I have to imagine that there's a better stream out there for you to raid, but I appreciate you raiding here anyway, so. Just getting into game number 2, Spooky Ghosts versus Roll1Esports. Spooky Ghosts did pick up the first win, opting for, or rather being given map pick again as they get into game number 2.
No Abathur bans yet here on Cursed Hollow as well. We have Johanna as the second ban, and you know, with how Johanna kind of dictated every engage for Spooky Ghosts, I'm not actually against that ban.
Yeah,
one of her best.
Every successful engage started with a Blessed Shield.
Yep,
so
definitely did.
Taking that off the table makes a heck of a lot of sense coming out from Roll1Esports. And let's see, they want to pick up the other premier tank, so not a terrible surprising decision coming out from them. It's really Johanna ETC, the two most popular heroes in competitive play by a fair margin. So when you have the opportunity to pick one and ban the other, I mean, that's just a good day.
Yep, and Rock Your World. Pretty experienced ETC. I thought he was plated bunch, checked it, level 79 ETC. Yeah, that's checks out that they'd want to first pick that. Greymane going to be repicked up, as well as Mephisto. Well, we saw it banned game 1. We get to see it played at game 2.
We love you too, Murda. Yeah, Mephisto has just skyrocketed in popularity recently, and if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't had any changes recently, has he?
No, he hasn't. And he's sitting at like, I know global win rate, and all you're including all the leagues, but like 50.05 win rate. There's one more hero closer to that 50 mark, and I just don't see the exceptionalism that is Mephisto. But
I will say, I have felt the exceptionalism that is Mephisto playing against some coordinated teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Really effective beyond... and I guess it just took a while for the meta to shift for Mephisto to be the hero that he is, but shifted it has.
Yeah,
I like Kel'Thas. I like Kel'Thas and I like the Stukov as sort of counter Mephisto picks. Like, you just drop the Lurking Arm under his return point, and you can punish him really hard if he came from a position that isn't inherently itself safe.
Yep. My favorite mage to play against Mephisto is Chromie, because you pick a loop on 8, and then when Mephisto does this crazy dance to charge at you and deal free poke damage, you just re-loop him back to his spot, and it gets really awkward for Mephisto really quickly.
Yeah.
So that's my personal favorite.
I'm a big fan as well.
Yeah, especially since it kills the Mephisto.
The Mandoin getting banned out again, there was a lot of good light bombs following up a lot of those good blessed shields, so...
Yep.
Two real obvious respect bans coming out. The Falstad was played in game number 1. I don't feel like that's a respect ban so much as it is a this is Cursed Hollow map kind of a ban. And
yeah,
Ana and Melganis coming out. These are really common pickups actually from the Spooky Ghosts. I think they've played them in about half of their games, maybe a little bit more. So Rogoth, I almost picked main tank Brightwing. That raises so many questions.
I love it though. I mean,
not every healer can also be a tank. Not everyone is cool like Uther.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's a front line.
This is a Lurk Patrol style composition. 3 tank.
This is an old school Lurk Patrol comp.
This is
3
some
tanks
retro.
and a Kel'Thas.
Ektar, can you like add a filter so you get like scan lines across your stream so it looks like we're playing on like a CRT from the 90s?
Yeah,
that's how it feels.
Gonna have a Super Smash Brothers Melee overlay put up on this.
That's
Blaze coming out. I like that pick. Blaze and Greymane can both survive in the soul lane, and it's Cursed Hollow, so you kind of need it to have 2 somewhat solo heroes. And honestly, Dahaka and Zarya serve in exactly that same role, so I like both these comps quite a bit. I don't know that I necessarily like Zarya a whole huge amount.
I don't on this map, but you know, on brawlier maps I do, Shrines, Tomb, etc. I do. In these, the rotation distances are really long, so you have to keep up your energy. It's a lot harder to keep up your energy. And low energy Zarya is bad Zarya. So
yeah, she does have an incredible amount of objective poke though.
Oh my gosh, she can poke and she can deal a ton of damage if you get into that scenario, but it's harder to set up. But you know what? Big fan of it. We'll just have to see.
Yep. And we have now spawning in the right-hand side in the red trunks. They are Roll1Esports, with Rock Your World playing the ETC, Poe playing Kel'Thas, Zod playing Zarya, Wanba playing the Stukov, and we have Big Beard playing Dahaka.
And in the blue trunks on the left-hand side, we have the Spooky Ghosts, who are up 1-0 in this series, looking to close it out here on Cursed Hollow. We've got Boundary X playing Mephisto, Rogoth on Mal'Ganis, Little Wolf on Ana, Eric with a K on Blaze, and Kaleidos on Greymane.
Ace, you're a mod. Does that mean you can set up a poll for me to see who's going to win game number 2 in accordance with our audience?
Let's see, the poll setup menu, I sure can.
Excellent. I'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and do that.
Absolutely, if you can go ahead and look at those level 1 talents.
I am. We've got the Prog Rock coming out once again. Dahaka's actually holding. Most of the time you'd expect him to go into Tissue Regeneration, but we have seen a little bit more popularity with the race car recently. Nope, it is going to be Tissue Regen. We've got the, what is it, Grenadier, Bombardier, Demolitions Expert, Q Quest on 1, coming out from Zarya. New habits from the Blaze, and we've got a bit of a 3-1 kind of rotation a 1-1-3 kind of a thing coming out from Roll1Esports. They've got 3 in the bot lane, 1 mid, 1 top. I don't know if they're going to stay here or if they're going to be rotating a lot.
Now, see, Zarya has one very specific thing about her that's really important. Is that she is one of the best push heroes in the entire game because she turns tower shots into damage for her and protects from her team and does an absurd amount of DPS if she's allowed to channel her auto attack. So having her outside seems weird.
There's a triple front line on the side of Spooky Ghost. Are you a little bit surprised that they didn't actually end up going in to feel the heat on one? Ooh, that was an interrupted slide. Yeah. Rock Your World in a bit of a rough spot. Trying to walk away, but is not going to be able to do it. And that is a very quick first blood, especially compared to the previous game.
Yeah. What was that? 6.5 minutes earlier this game, and 7 or 8 levels, depending on which team you're looking at. But yeah, that's a fast first blood on the. He's just scouting out the engagement. That was a nice interrupt on the slide. Feeling the heat. I think it's specifically Q Quest for the objective poke more than anything else with the Dahaka Global. And it requires a little less CC than what Spooky Ghost has, so I'm okay with Demolition's Expert.
Fair enough. We do still have the Speed Barrier coming out. Not opting for the Globe Quest on level 4. And this can allow for some really good engages, specifically I think with Dahaka, because getting close enough to a meaningful target to land the tongue is kind of one of his problems. If you give him 50% movement speed, that's really significant boost to Dahaka's engage range.
It's race car build in a single talent, but
really
Dahaka didn't have to take it. It's pretty good. The only thing I would maybe my Lurk Patrol showing here that we don't have convection on one.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it. It's never bad to take mana damage. But at the same time,
when you're the solo damage dealer,
with a Zarya to bubble you, you can do it. I believe in you. Don't be worried unless you face check a bush.
Believe that you can do it, because you can do it.
Thank you.
Go ahead and hide talent, since we do have a bit of a probable team fight coming in. Rogoth getting a 3-person stun, and Eric with K getting his 3-person stun. Not actually taking a whole ton of damage quite yet, mostly because Kaleidos has not gone into wolf form. There he goes, now engaging onto Big Beard, who did burrow in. Gets the huge Essence heal, but gets a lot of it blocked by Ana, actually. A really big biotic grenade coming out there. Blaze walking towards the mid lane, but turns around and walks back to the objective area to put some damage into Dahaka. A lot of damage coming out on both sides, so I don't think there's a significant advantage necessarily for either team quite yet.
Yeah, it seems like the bulkiness of Roll1Esports will allow them to, at least for now, take position on the point. As the fight goes on, Blaze again pokes into the mid lane. Zad fully charged and ready to deal a lot of damage. Kaleidos does do some damage in the bottom to rock your world, but overall, fight continues onwards with a, I would say, slight bulk advantage to Roll1.
Yeah, we do have Blaze getting a little bit of a cheeky interrupt there. Big engagement coming out from Rogoth, but doesn't get the necessary follow-up CC that you probably wanted there. Big Beer is going to be able to heal up pretty well off of the essence that he had stored up. Rogoth getting pretty far into the backline, but not actually able to do anything with that positioning that he found himself, and the continued bulk on the side of Roll1Esports is just letting them sustain these fights, probably more than you'd normally expect.
Yeah, ETC can heal himself. Dahaka can definitely heal himself. Zarya can provide damage or prevention. So, and Stukov, objectively one of the best 5v5 healers in the game, allowing them to survive through even with these really nice biotic grenades that Little Wolf keeps throwing down. Zad, lowest on the team, now matched with Rogoth's low health bar as this fight enters its 2nd minute of play.
And without a clear winner either. I think Roll1 have finally started to take just a little bit too much of the damage coming out from Boundary X, but Boundary X is out of mana. You can't really provide any additional damage. And I think that there are more HPs in the red bars than the blue bars have remaining, but are they going to be able to get into position to get this interrupt? I mean, with Zod, probably.
Yep. The only issue with
Blink.
Roll1 is that they have no small blue bars. Poe Wanba, and Rocky World all completely out of mana right before that next engage happens. So, hearth parties for everybody. Holy crap.
Yeah, a lot of just esports. There's no other word for it. That was just esports.
Yep, and Roll1's got it in their name.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't go in their favor this time. However, and I will say this about any team that loses the early game, they're a late game comp.
Yep, tank. Well, it's not inherently just, memeing right there. Tank comps generally come on once they hit level 10 because their ultimates are generally a little bit more impactful. Rogoth going to get a little bit of a gankification action.
A lot of gankification.
Boop from ET.
Unfortunately, booped out of the Flame Strike. That would have brought him much lower onto dying, but he is going to back all the way as this objective is spawning up. He will be there in time, but not as early in time as you'd like.
Yep. Eric with a K gets his jet propulsion not interrupted entirely, but it doesn't matter. The silence pull from Wanba is going to secure the objective as Spooky Ghosts now rotate down to the boss. With Greymane, they do have a lot of damage on the boss.
Yeah, I wonder if this will get identified by the Roll1, and if so, how they're going to deal with it. They haven't done anything yet. They're heading into the location for their boss now. It looks like that's how they're going to respond to their opponent's taking boss. And I like that they left Zarya there in the mid lane, because she does provide some decent boss damage, but clearing out this camp is good. Getting level 10 in particular is good. And now that they see that the boss is being taken, we can look at their own boss, and it's probably low enough that they don't actually need Zarya to help finish it out.
Well, you say that. Here comes the aggression, and there is very poor boss damage for Roll1. They don't take a direct path in, though, and that does allow Roll1 to pick it up just in time. 5v4 Scuffle may be coming out, but the massive CC combo lands onto Eric with a K. He gets taken out. Mosh into Grav, into everything else. Kael'thas was interrupted with Rogoth, but the damage was too much after 6 consecutive seconds of CC. Roll1 picks up 3-4 kills and has a boss pushing and can grab that bottom tribute.
Yeah, and I like that they're only seeming to rotate 2 people, 1 person actually only, to take that objective, with the rest of them Zarya backing so that they can get health and deal with boss, but also allowing 3 people to push in the top lane is going to be really strong for them. They definitely get this fort. They definitely get the objective, and they actually even defend the bottom fort. So everything coming up Millhouse right now for Roll1Esports, taking a really strong team fight over their own boss that all started with that boss getting a root into stun with a silence under it. Comboing with the boss's stun. Rock your world, you're a legend.
Ooh, he is going to take some legendary damage though. That Curse Bullet does a ton. Eric with a K comes on the backside, completes the flank, and allows 2 to be taken out. Wanba is not going to make it out either, and that quickly turns around in Spooky Ghost's favor. Nice little flank maneuver there to secure up those kills and bring it back to a 5-kill match each.
Yeah, and you know the saying, discretion is the better part of valor, so if Roll1Esports does end up winning this series, we're just going to not mention that little engagement right there.
Ooh, nice gank on Zarya.
Gankarino onto Zarya. Big Beard is just kind of hiding. Looks like he's probably going to burrow to the top lane and just give over this objective. Yep, just trying to get themselves to 13 on par with their opponents. And we got to have a little bit of nothing happening for the next probably 30 seconds or so.
Yep, looks like Spooky Ass want to get the minion wave pushed up so they can dive the bottom fort, take it out with this tribute capture as well. So that's what will be done. Bruiser's being picked up for Roll1Esports. 5-man little ward cover party happening for Spooky Ghosts as they will try and push into this bottom fort, and we'll have to see if they can take it fast enough and escape before Roll1 flanks behind them.
Yes, they definitely can.
Yeah, especially when Roll1Esports decides to push with mid instead of trying to flank behind them.
And generally I feel like that's probably the better call. I don't think they actually would have made it in time even if they did run straight for it. So opting to just get the little value that they could instead of the larger value that they probably couldn't.
Yep, more than likely. And this here is going to be the important tribute. Obviously, it is for Curse, and going to be very, very impactful to see how this goes. Roll1Esports does have first position on this, as well as a siege camp in the bottom lane. with Spooky Ghost picking up their own siege camp to try and push along with this at the cost of the positioning.
Yeah, please don't go in there, Rogoth.
Press V.
Do it. Nice. Checking with skill shots, that is the way to do it, especially Anna, because Q has such a short cooldown. Rogoth gets in there really deep to try and get the engagement onto Wanba. Gets a huge 4-person sleep, however. ETC just gives it the old counter mosh, and just a ton of damage coming out. Poe gets brought down very low to get saved by the Zarya bubble. Unfortunately, Greymane goes down, and he disengages Living Bomb right onto Little Wolf. A lot of damage coming out, however, the Pyroblast is going to get dodged by the bunker. Just kind of hits out onto nothing, but that is 2 kills for nothing going over in favor of Roll1Esports. Spooky Ghost tried to continue to fight it out, but they are not going to be able to do that successfully, and that is going to be the first curse going over in favor of Roll1Esports. Zod immediately picking up all the XP in the mid lane. And I like that they're pushing in mid-top area. The bottom will get cleaned up eventually, but they already have a camp there. And this is going in on a keep. That's great for them.
Yep, it does look like a 5-man push here for Roll1Esports. They don't even have a minion wave to support them, which not required under Curse, but it does provide a decent amount of extra DPS, maybe eats a skill shot or two. So it can help out. Blaze goes in with a little bit of a stun, Big Beard. Gonna go ahead, waddle away, and without taking out anything but the sidewall, they are kind of funneled into this scary-looking location.
Yeah, but they waited until Blaze started showing before just re-engaging where they had started the teamfight initially. Bondriak's putting a lot of damage into Poe, who does not yet have the Arcane Barrier, I believe. Nope, still 1 globe shy in that regard. Still not getting any real value here. They're probably going to pick up mid. Mid's basically free, but they spent a lot of time trying to get top and then didn't get top.
Yeah, as far as curses go, I've seen more impactful ones.
Yeah.
Looks like the aggression path towards the top was not quite the best thing that could have happened, as boss is started by Big Beard, and it looks like it'll be matched by the boss of Spooky Ghosts in the bottom lane.
Big Beard does have the Tunneling Claws available, I believe. Or I forget what his dig is called. Tunneling Claws is the 16.
Brush Stalker.
Brush Stalker, yeah. So
Does
could go in on that. I think it'd be a really risky play for them. But it looks like they are going to not do that. Make the much smarter play and just push through the top lane. Ensure that they do in fact get this top keep that they tried and failed to get earlier.
Yeah, might have just been set up. Maybe that was a call all along. Guarantee the at least some damage. Take out the towers. Take out at least getting towards clearing the wall, and then push in here with this boss after Curse to pretty much guarantee this keep. So overall, gonna be probably gonna be top keep. It's if they get to defend their bottom keep.
Yeah, we do have an engagement attempt coming out from Nalganis there, but he gets countered with the isolation in a very big way. We do have the Graviton coming out, not heading out into anyone particularly impactful. ETC goes down really fast. That is going to be the keep falling, but how many heroes do they give away in the keep fight? Big Beard is going to likely be the next to fall.
I'm gonna guess 3, Ektar.
Yeah, that's my guess as well. Although with the speed
Zad
barrier,
had
never
killed
mind.
himself by walking this way. He had a chance to go out top, but did not. So
So
we'll
Stukov,
chalk it up as a
the lone
4.
survivor, Wanba. And this will not get the bottom keep. The wave might.
I think it will. There are 2 katas
Yeah,
shooting.
it will. Yeah, the 2 katas provided the extra damage it was not accounting for.
Yep, and now boss walks on the core, won't break shields, won't do anything too impactful, will just disappear, but keeps traded out, but the XP advantage now over to the side of Spooky Ghosts.
And this is going to be a free objective for them as well. There shouldn't be a way for Roll1 to get enough people up in time to actually make a contest for this. So
that's a big one right there.
That's going to be the big equalizer. We're going to have to see what the building situation looks like at the end of this curse phase.
Yeah, I mean, outer 2 forts should fall, but because there are only 2 lanes to push into, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Rock Your World is trying his darndest to make it happen, but the retreat pings are out, and it is curse o'clock for Roll1Esports as they're going to be under the gun for the next minute.
Rogoth walking into a big empowered flame strike is going to take a little bit of that ignite damage. They're guaranteed getting this fort. I mean, honestly, mid and top forts should always go down here. ETC looking for an engage, gets slept out of it, however. Really nice sleep dart coming out from Little Wolf. Rogoth looking... I think, honestly, Spooky Ghost is just trying to fight here to hold Roll1Esports from clearing. But they are going to have to clear in through bottom. Their minion wave is not going to be pushing that back. They've already got one catapult that's starting to do some damage into core, but isn't going to do a whole lot by itself. Roll1 are defending nicely. Spooky Ghost... Oh, big mosh pit comes up and gets immediately interrupted by Little Wolf. Really well done holding the sleep dart for that. I still continue to think that Spooky Ghost are just fighting here to keep Roll1 from defending anywhere else.
And that's a reasonable thing to do as long as they don't lose too much. Rock Your World gets kind of low with that anti-nade, and Roll1 is being
in 4, and they're under keep right now.
They definitely are under keep, definitely damaging heroes, but they do get Wanba. That is the support taken out.
Is getting pyroed right now. Rock Your World looking to try and make sure that they get the additional damage necessary to kill him. They do. That is the 1-for-1. Both healers going down. Rock Your World getting brought down pretty low as well. And that is... Yeah, that is the 2 forts going down, just kind of exactly like what we expected.
Yep, lots of drama and glamour for it, as well as, 9 R buttons being pressed. Maybe even more, as I saw Mal'Ganis' was interrupted earlier, but...
that team fight was long enough that could have been the second cursed bullet used, too.
Oh, very possible. Very possible. I mean, that's what happens with these team fights, is... If you're familiar with the Overwatch, this GOAT-style big bulk, big healing kind of composition, fights just draw out, and is a matter of preserving your resources and then just all bursting down a target when it matters.
Oh, Big Beard. Actually, Spooky Ghost deciding not to pull the trigger on that engagement there. Really interesting choice from them. I guess because they don't see the rest of Roll1Esports, they're not confident enough to try and make that engagement happen.
Yeah, I'm watching Spooky Ghost Vision, and they haven't seen the rest of the team for quite a long time. 20's picked up now for both sides. We do have Death Metal, some Controlled Chaos, a Bush Party that does get scouted. Nice job there.
Silencing Grav. Oil Spill Worker is a bit of a thonker.
That's... Yeah, that's something. 25 armor, is it what? 50 armor when you leave the bunker, so it's kind of spicy. We do have Armored Stance for Ana as well, not Nano Infusion. That's kind of spicy. And Mimic, so full Lightning Ring build out here for Mephisto.
And do we have the splash for Dahaka? No, we have Essence Claws coming up from Dahaka.
Ooh. Sleep Engage with the Mal'Ganis ult coming out, but a large Mosh is going to stop the interrupt. Or is going to stop the follow-up to the Sleep Engage. Poe drops a Pyroblast. Dahaka burrows into the back line, gets antied, so it's in a little bit of trouble, but is harassing Politis enough. Rock Your World in the most dangerous spot is taken out. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Death Mosh goes off, and the Living Bombs, it is time for them to shine. Little Wolf going to go down next. Wanba slept in the back, trades all over Poe, and wow! The Spooky Ghosts end up taking this. Core damage is being dealt on both sides. Catapults in every lane. And Winions might take the top lane here as Spooky Ghosts have not responded. Oh my.
Yep,
One more volley.
This game requires no additional commentary. Winions taking it. I don't know exactly how many people identified that on the side of the Spooky Ghosts. We had the Lamau come out from Rogoth, and that is going to be the climactic final team fight that resulted in Winions just anticlimactically ending the game top lane. Shoutouts actually to Big Beard pushing out that lane for as long as he did. There we go.
Yeah.
Right there, get on the summary screen. Lots of soaking done by both Mal'Ganis and Dahaka there in that game.
Yeah, that was...
But we got ourselves a Game 3, Ace. I'm excited.
Hey, you know what? Big fan of Game 3.
Game 3 is everyone's favorite game, unless you're playing in the match.
Unless you're a Spooky Ghost right then really it's not your favorite. But, the bulk composition worked out. I think, one thing we don't do with that comp is run the Dahaka. We run a bulkier, or more aggressive, like a Sonya a lot of the time. Part on hero pool, but part on just preference of having that extra bit of damage. And I think the Dahaka served him well, specifically on this map. So
right.
I like that. I like that choice there that they
they went for.
So we have confirmation from Little Wolf that they're going to be opting for first hero pick. Honestly, it's been the meta all season so far to really go for first hero pick. There's a couple of heroes that you really want to get priority on. And I don't think I've actually seen a team pick, map pick any of the series I've watched yet.
Well, then you haven't been watching us.
I have not watched all of Duritan's Couch's games. You are correct.
Yeah, it's often just like, which map do we want to YOLO next? We actually map picked all 3 on Tuesday. So, you were there. You were there, man. So.
Well, memory. All
yeah,
on the moonlight.
Fair enough. So when Ektar gets it, we will go to Tomb next.
Of the Spider Queen.
Indeed.
Yeah, just so you're not confused with the other tombs.
Yeah. Like the ones that Leort creates. So I think that's very reasonable from Roll1. Just the fact that they're deciding to run a brawly composition like what we saw last game makes it feel like they would pick a map just like this. That comp they ran works just fine on this map too. You get the wave clear, you get the you change the Dahaka out because global's on this map. Bit of a meme, and you can run the same thing back again. Now, just don't telegraph it too much because Spooky Ghost should have some adaptations.
Alrighty. Because we're going into game number 3, I am going to put us on a bit of an intermission so that we can refresh water and stuff. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a little bit. Getting on into game number 3, we had Spooky Ghost losing game number 2, deciding that they want a turn at first hero pick, and so Roll1Esports are going to be taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for our final game this series. What do you think of that map pick from Roll1Esports based on the way that the series has gone so far?
Reasonable. They like to slug it out in big team fights, and this is a map where you can really slug it out in big team fights because there's not a whole lot else to do. So,
honestly, I think this map, of the 2 that we've seen previously, is more like Tomb of the Spider Queen than it is like Cursed Hollow. So maybe in that regard, this does favor Spooky Ghost just a little bit. What did I say?
You said Tomb again.
Dang it! Yeah,
Yep.
it more
team maps.
It more resembles Towers than previously, so I don't know, I think this could still end up going pretty well for the Spooky Ghosts.
Yep.
Going with the 2020 Rhaegar ban. 3 games out of 3 now. Medivh ban 3 out of 3.
I am not shocked at at all that that has been banned out every game.
Yep.
We faced Eric with K's Medivh on this map. We're like, Medivh's not that much of a threat on this map. Yeah, we got rolled.
Yeah.
Pushed us down a seed. Didn't really matter because we faced the same team, but like, oof. That's so that feels Li Ming banned out for the third time.
Yeah.
By Spooky Ghosts, and Johanna very reasonable. Johanna's good tank, not just because of her tanking and the ability to ignore everything around her, but because she brings the most wave clear of any tank. And that's wave clear is always good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add in that regard. Spooky Ghost, let's see what they're going to take for their first hero pick. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it was just ETC, like the most boring standard pick you could possibly imagine here. But
wow,
there
look,
it is.
It's the most boring standard pick you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
But
We had the Johanna
No.
banned out, and then the first pick ETC. Like, welcome to Heroes of the Storm 2020.
Yep. I wish a couple more tanks were viable right now. They do say they're going to come out with some. I think they'll be here in 2060.
I think there are some that are viable, but they're just not as good as ETC
Oh.
Johanna.
Zul's made it through this draft, Ektar.
He sure has, and he's made it onto the battlefield going into game number 3. I'm excited because I never get to see Zul actually get played.
Yeah.
Especially considering he just got nerfed a little bit. So I'm excited to see how they're going to run Zul. Are they going to put him into the soul lane? Just one of the places you tend to see him. I've also seen Zul just run in the 4-man to pretty decent effect, and I'd like to see what they're going to do with him. And also, Deckard Cain's incredible.
Oh, we can talk about rubies again, Ektar.
We've never gotten to talk about rubies before. This is our first time getting to talk about rubies on
I
stream.
thought we talked about rubies last time.
Ruby is now a 10-second cooldown, which pairs very nicely with the 12-second cooldown of Herodric Cube. Because of Deckard's trait, as long as you're near an ally, you get cooldown reduction on your basic abilities. Ruby actually has a slightly longer cooldown than Herodric Cube most of the time. But it means that every time that you cube, you're probably spawning some potions. And each of those potions does 92.5% of the healing of a regular potion. So it's an actually incredible amount of healing throughput if you've never seen it. Like
Oh, it's so good.
You hit 2 people with Ruby, that's literally an ancestral laying on the ground for your tank to go pick up.
It's like 5.5 standard potions. That normally takes, what, like 15 seconds to throw down or something?
Yeah.
Boom, right there. It's awesome. One draft note. I was going to mention Garrosh is the other like commonly banned tank. Zul is being picked up by Big Beard currently, who has been the offlaner the last 2 games. So we have a slight higher chance that it is offlane Zul rather than 4-man Zul, but because this map is so small, you could see still a rotation with Zul because he clears the lane so incredibly quickly.
And Zul provides really nice point-and-click CC for following up on a Garrosh, so that ban makes a lot of sense coming out from Spooky Ghosts. Murden,
You know who else is good at following up a point-and-click CC?
Murden, I think, is like a B-tier tank right now. Like, obviously, you've got the 2 S-tiers. We've already seen him and talked him to death. I think that Mal'Ganis is probably
A tier.
A-tier above Murden.
Yeah.
We do have Tassadar getting
Garrosh
picked out, and I'm a
okay.
big fan of that.
Yes.
Like, on this map, he's incredible. At level 2, you clear the back 4 minions with 2 abilities.
Oh,
Level
great.
2.
It's so fast. If you want wave clear, you don't go with Gul'dan anymore. You go with Tassadar.
I mean, you still
That's
can
how
go
you-
with Gul'dan. You can't go
you
wrong with
still
that.
can. You can still go with Gul'dan, but you can go Tassadar as well. Hanzo picked up to round out the composition, so it's definitely offlane Zul here.
Yeah, and I really like the comp coming up from Spooky Ghosts. For 2 words, say it with me, wave clear.
Oh,
You didn't
it's
say
so
it with
good.
me.
I
okay.
didn't say it because I wasn't actually certain, because although Zul exists, he will be in the offlane. I was like, maybe that would clear mid, but
And like,
wave clear.
Jaina has incredible wave clear on an
But on
18-second
wave
cooldown.
15?
Or something like that. Something
think it's
nuts.
15.
It's way more than the time it takes to you to get from mid lane to top lane.
Yeah, you get up to, you blizzard the mid lane, mount up, walk the 14 steps to top lane,
And then
then
Hanzo deals damage
gotta-
to one minion.
yeah,
He does inconsequential damage with Skata. Like, until 4, Roll1Esports are just going to be behind in rotations, I feel like. And I'd like to see how the spooky ghosts who are spawning in the blue trunks on the left-hand side are going to be able to press that advantage with Rogoth playing the cow, Boundary X playing Tassadori with a weird wolf match. We got Eric with a K on your Rel, Kalidas playing Jim Raynor, Little Wolf playing the Ana, and thank you for the bits, Ronan, I appreciate it.
All right, that is it's an interesting extra player, but nonetheless appreciated. We've got in the red trunks, Roll1Esports with the momentum and the win in last game. We've got Rock Your World on Murden, Big Beard picking up the Super Band Zool, Zad on Hanzo. I can't see Poe on Jaina, and Wanba on the Deckard King.
Oh, is that Block Party? It is Block Party. That's an interesting pickup here. I wonder who exactly that's targeted at, because Hanzo didn't go into auto attack quest or anything.
No, but his auto attacks do hit like a train.
It's true.
Like, as far as auto attacks go, they're one of the highest damaging because they're low rate of fire. I mean, it's like Nova's 7 talent built into his trait.
Yeah, we do have Executioner coming out from Jimmy, so we're even more focused into the clearing of things that are not heroes.
Yep. That almost might be overkill, if you ask me.
Yeah. Interesting, we've got Eric with a K in the top lane. Does he not know where the soul lane is on this map, Harnock?
I was taking a drink, and when I did that, I was like, uh-oh, I've made a mistake. And I quickly tried to swallow every bit of that drink that I possibly could, because that joke was incoming. Well done.
We do have, checking out the rest of the level 1s, we got the Shackler, which I've never actually had to say that talent name before, coming out for Zool. We've got Scroller Identify, which I think is actually not a very good talent ever since the movement speed change has been made it so much harder to get stacks on. Like, if you get the stacks on and can hit people with it, it's good, but that's a lot of ifs that it has had to say there.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Hanzo going into Q-Quest, and also Q-Quest is Murden. We've got Q-Quest coming out from Tassadar, which, if you can get the stacks and stay up in mana, can be good, but I think the E is just the superior talent in level 1, but that's okay.
No, you can have your...
Very quick Bruiser Camp for the side of the Spooky Ghost. It's really well done by them. They haven't lost anything really in rotation XP, and they picked up a Bruiser Camp. Oh,
yeah, that's
a lot of damage.
Yep.
Actually, Rogoth, unfortunately, knocked out Poe away from Boundary X's Q, so not getting the damage there they were probably expecting to with that engagement.
Yep, bit unfortunate. Hanzo now relegated to bottom lane duties as Big Beard joining in for the 4-man clear. And yeah, I think that'll work out a little bit better overall for Roll1. Yeah, they might take some more damage down bottom. Wanaba. Don't make me change that after saying it for 2 rounds. Fine, fine. But yeah, wave clear, trademark.
Yeah, it's going pretty well, like you would expect it to, in favor of Spooky Ghost. They're starting to gain a little bit of an XP advantage, about a half a level. Their opponents haven't made it to top lane yet. They'll miss a couple of minions there. Boundary X, a little bit of an ambitious turn-in, but actually gets it. Roll1, I guess, didn't have the interrupt with the Stormbolt there.
Nope. Just off.
Zool coming in for a bit of an engage attempt. They find a root, but it's only on Ana, who was still mounted and was able to run away before it actually landed, so not finding anything significant there. Their opponents did pick up their own Bruiser Camp, but it gets cleared up pretty well, and unfortunately Zool lost a little bit of the XP in the bottom lane for that gank attempt.
Yep, and now Spooky Ghost with the superior turn-in and no death do have enough gems to turn in. Roll1 actually a decent amount off, needs about 4 more lanes or so of XP to get that turn-in. And Ektar, we do have Ruby.
I would have been shocked, and I would have mentioned it if we didn't have Ruby, to be completely honest. It is so the talent right now. Really nice CC combo coming out onto Poe. Not finding a lot of follow-on damage from it. Rogoth getting a little bit poked out as well. Yeah, that's still only 2 people hit with that Scroll of Identify. It just doesn't provide that... It doesn't provide very much until you actually get it cleared, and it's so hard to get it cleared these days. Rogoth, you're gonna have to stop booping people out of Boundary X's Qs. Like... Change
Founder-
scene. Oh no. Thank you,
You-
shenanigans.
Oh no, were we actually in? No, we weren't in full podcast mode. We were in
No,
draft.
we're in draft.
Mode.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad then. If we
Yeah.
were in full podcast mode, that would have been a production disaster, but
Unfortunate.
also accurate to the name.
Yep. We do have the E talent coming out on a little bit of damage coming out in the Rocket World there. We do have the continued E build coming out from Tassadar on 7. I think this is by far and away the best talent on that tier. Even if you go Q on 1, picking up the Psystorm on Q cast is just, it's nuts. Like, you get a free ability cast when you cast another one of your abilities. How could you not pick that talent?
It's pretty good.
First turning going over in favor of Spooky Ghosts, as they did have the rotational advantage by a pretty significant margin. Hanzo did go into the explosive arrows on 4, but I mean that still doesn't keep up with what Spooky Ghosts have.
Is that a misclick? That is really strange that Sharpened Arrowheads gets picked up after 2 Q talents on Hanzo. I just haven't
That
seen...
is also a Q talent.
It is, but it's more of a redemption talent because it requires multiple hits.
It's true.
That's interesting compared to just plain out spell armor, which you get 5, 10, 15, 20. Now you have to weave in auto attacks to get the same effectiveness.
It's true, although it, I believe, lasts for a little bit longer and is a little bit easier to maintain, because if you miss 1 Q, it can be pretty hard to maintain the spell damage, so I don't hate it. It's just less standard.
Yep.
We do have Rogoth coming in for a bit of an engage, but not actually finding out anything. The Force Wall not actually hitting on its intended target either, but...
Bottom might have a kill. Big Beard runs away with
the hell?
120 HP.
Eric, what are you doing in there, Eric?
He was chasing him down, man. He
Yeah,
didn't...
gonna get the bot fort, though, which is really nice for first Webweaver. That is not what you generally see on this map these days.
Yeah, the tower changes have really impacted this map, where these first Webweaver phases are really kind of
Meh.
underwhelming, if
Yeah.
you wish to say. I'm wondering, Ektar, like, is it
Ooh, black
strat,
hole.
like, ooh, wow, interesting pick. Is it strats to just, like, bank gems and play defensively for 12 minutes?
You know, I would love to see that be played in the game. Big slide coming in from Rogoth. Not actually deciding to rip the mosh pit. One Ba gets brought down very low. Is getting brought back up, but it looks like Eric's going to be able to chase him down. We do have Zool is the first to fall. Jimmy is the next to fall. And a lot of damage being taken on both sides. Level 10s did get picked up in that fight for Roll1Esports. We did have Deckard Kane got chased down by Eric with a K. Really nice 2-for-1 coming out from these members of Spooky Ghosts. There's a lot of R buttons got pressed, and why don't we talk about him now that this team fight is basically devolved into disengaging.
Yeah, we
Got the Hyperion, Ardent Defender, Mosh Pit. We saw the Black Hole come out. I think it's a really interesting pick, and also the Nano Boost to pair with it. Going over against Lord NATO, which is a bit of a strange pickup. It did just get buffed recently, but I think it's still hard to pass up on the stay a while and listen.
Yeah, it's there's gonna be lots of those movement abilities. Black Hole goes in a line, pushes people towards the center. Lornado goes in a line, pushes people away from the center. So nice little mirrors there, if you wish. As well as Avatar, the Mages, Dragon's Arrow, and Water Ellie, not Ring, for the Jaina.
There's not a ton of setup, so I'm not surprised to see that over Ring in this particular game.
Same, just an interesting note.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Rock Your World coming in really kind of boldly walking at Rogoth and just doing a little bit of damage and then walking away. Zod is in a strange spot where he can't contribute a ton to the team fight. Does use his escape to get into the team fight more effectively. Big Beard is looking for a nice flank, trying to find a target to land the jailers on, but isn't going to find anything. We do have the Hyperion coming down to just secure this fort, and they're going to have to back up because there's no way they can actually try to make a defense here. Although Eric with a K coming in, we got a big mosh pit coming out, gets immediately blown up by the Dragon's Arrow, and then the Black Hole coming in for the follow-up to the frickin' mosh pit, just doing a ton of damage, but not actually getting any kills.
Yeah, that could have been really big. Rock Your World carrying 38 gems was very, very low in that fight, and if that had gone poorly for Roll1, they would have been in Frownsy Townsy without gems, but instead they really down. Frownsy Townsy.
I didn't realize that was the demographic we were we're looking at going into this cast.
Dynamism.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Day 9 talks like any combination between 30 and 4.
He's incredible at that, and you know what? Anything that he does sounds good in life half the time, so you know what? We can be in Frownsy Townsy if we want to be. Looking like Roll1Esports with 110 gems to their name do want to go in for a turn-in, which is
Going to be a
very
little bit difficult down level 13, however, as we do have Zod gets found out of position. He's going to drop 21 of those gems, so down to 72, plus the 19 they've already got turned in, and unfortunately that means he just can't turn in now.
Yeah, they're just going to sit with all these gems on their team, and you know, that's a little scary for Rock Your World to have, you know, an entire turn-ins of gems there. Less scary with those mini potions around, but Hyperion comes out, secures 3 forts and 2 Webweaver phases total for Spooky Ghost. That's a nice little advantage to have. I think, what is it, 3 forts is when the passive XP really starts to become significantly different.
Yeah, and checking the level 13s now we have picked up for both teams. We do have the AoE potions for Deckard Cain. We've got increased Blizzard cast range and radius on 13, which is a bit of an interesting pickup. And still holding for Zool.
Yeah, this is actually a really interesting Jaina build, I'll have to say. It's Frostbolt on 1, or on 4, Cone of Cold on 7, and Blizzard on 13, so just spreading around the talent synergies, if you wish.
Jaina has done 6,000, almost 7,000 damage at this point. She's getting beaten out by Murden in this teamfight, and she's really far away from finishing her baseline quest, which is going to be really nice when some of these engages come in. A little bit of damage coming out onto Zod, but probably going to be able to wake up and leave. And they are going to get this mid fort almost certainly. Almost certainly, probably, maybe not. Opting that, deciding that they can't get it, they're going to rotate up into the top lane where Eric with a K is the sole defender at the moment. This one they definitely get. Like, for sure they get this one. A little bit surprised they didn't stay mid to try and force that down, but
might get it now.
Yeah,
they might
they
go
still
for it
should.
now.
Yeah, they did have the single skeleton come out from Zool's, deciding they still can't get it.
Very reasonable as a 5-man collapse is headed down. And it's not too worth it to go for crazy plays. They do have 60 gems out of the 55 they need. Big Beard is going to be in a little bit of trouble finding his way into the middle of 5 spooky ghosts. Dragon's Arrow comes out, hits Boundary X. Boundary X does end up going down after dropping the Death Rattle Black Hole. Rock Your World's whoop was interrupted, so he'll be not taken out as he ends up popping the Avatar. That might have been on cooldown. I actually wasn't sure because that came out really late in the fight, but that worked out for Roll1Esports, and they're going to be able to work their way towards their second turn in here.
Yeah. I would like to see them try to poke down this lane just a little bit first, as they have Big Beard turning in, as well as they've already got Rock Your World's gems turned in. Not actually completing the turn quite. Oh, they didn't actually get Rock Your World's gems. I had missed that. Someone else had turned in that. They will poke down this mid fort, probably, this time. I mean, the Webweaver gets it for sure, but they are down 16. They don't have Tassadar there yet, and they don't have Urel there yet, so... Putting the Blizzard on top of the Bruiser camp instead of out onto the actual building. Rogoth is doing the ETC wiggle now. He's looking for an engagement. They're up 16. They want to find something to do with it, and they've got all of their ultimates. Well, most of their ultimates.
Aktar, you want to not say... Look how fast that Webweaver died. Like, it was in the middle of the lane, and then it disappeared. I mean, that was crazy. There's nothing... It's just like cutting through a standard minion wave, practically. No wonder this map is struggling right now.
Yeah.
I mean, good grief.
Yeah, there's a lot of wave clear, and it's hard to push in with the Webweaver because it doesn't distract the heroes.
Yeah, that's something. Bottom turn-in looking like it is becoming a thing for Spooky Ghosts, but they have to have
a turn-in, though. Eric with a K is necessary, and they're turning in for an inconsequential amount of gems as their opponents are going out on the boss. Hanzo's scouting out to see if their opponents are coming in. Spoiler alert, their opponents are probably coming in. ETC just going to allow Eric to turn in, so they're going to trade away the boss in favor of getting the turn in. They see their opponents are there, but it's too late for them to actually do anything about it. And who do you think that favors, Ace?
Yes. No.
I'm gonna go with no.
I'm just gonna go with no. What's gonna happen is both teams are gonna back up, and nobody's gonna get any forts off of this, which I guess that favors
Roll1 because they didn't have to turn gems in for that. That was just time that they spent and didn't miss a whole lot of. Mid Web Weaver was cleared really freaking fast. Bot Web Weaver is gonna get cleared pretty quick as well. Top Web Weaver is so far away from doing anything noteworthy that Roll1 are going to be able to rotate up and defend on it. And
the only thing Bottom Web Weaver did was pile up the minions for Roll1.
Yeah, that was don't get caught out there, Roll or Rock. Yeah, that was a 55, 60 gem turn in for delay of game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a glorified
And your Rel is backed. Roll1Esports see that. They can try to take a fight on this Web Weaver because Web Weavers don't do anything. Although Urel is here now, so...
Except die. That's what they do.
What? Web Weavers feel so bad right now, man.
Oh my gosh, please. Blizzard, help them just a little bit.
I mean, we're 15 and a half minutes in the game, and those things just get sliced through.
Yeah, it's not like they're... Yeah, they use Blizzard and Azul on it, but like... God, it's just so hard to push into anything on this map right now. So...
And because it's so small, it can rotate really fast.
Yeah.
And clear them all, basically without any consequence.
Yep. Well, esports is a solution, Nectar. We guess it'll just come down to more team fighting.
Oh, darn.
Oh, darn. Don't threaten me with a good time. 50 to 50 on the gems right now. So both teams looking at close to their next turn-in. Bottom tower is going to be taken out by Roll1, and a 1-level lead on the Race to 20 trademark for Spooky Ghosts.
Yeah, and we do have the members of Roll1 getting their gems turned in right now. They're still 10 off. This engagement coming up from Anna, going to do some solid damage on the Rocking the World.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that mosh pit. It gets immediately interrupted, but it still had everyone clumped up well enough for the follow-on damage to come out. Big shout-out to the black hole there, providing a lot of additional AoE cluster damage. A really significant teamfight win coming out for the members of Spooky Ghost. That is 3-0, and level 20s coming out online. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they just tried to end off that. I don't know if they could get it, but they definitely get a keep for the attempt.
Not with their super keeps. Not with 2020 keeps.
But
I don't think they
just got chunked out by Kaleidos.
Yeah, but he's got a tap. He's fine. He's gonna clear mid. Bottom's gonna get taken out.
Mini
Yeah, mini potions. There's a lot of them. It's real nice.
That's the first Lornado I remember seeing.
There was one last fight.
Okay.
There have been Lornados. It's just
Kugelblitz. I don't see that taken very often.
sorry. What?
That is the upgrade to Black Hole, where anyone that gets stunned by it also makes a Psystorm.
Combine that with Nano Infusion and a full Psystorm build. Is that a talented Psystorm? I believe it is.
I don't think it says otherwise. Yeah, it just says that each hero hit by a Black Hole center creates a Psystorm at their location. So, yeah. It means it gets the effectiveness of Psychic Shock, which is an incredible DPS upgrade. It's something like 40%. If you get hit by the whole thing, it's ginormous.
That is the mathematically accurate number.
We do have 3 members that have potential turn-in for the side of Spooky Ghosts, and Roll1 have identified they can't stop this defense, or stop the turn-in, so they're just going to try and make a good defense under their own buildings. Bottom is pushed out decently far, so they don't have to worry about it for a little bit.
Top's pushed out even further. Look at that wave
so
up
they really have to worry about mid, and we've seen how fast an individual Web Weaver dies, so this defense is totally reasonable for Roll1.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job of just zoning out Spooky Ghosts and clearing waves while they were down level 20. Again, Roll1 seems to be able to do a lot with their positioning and their playmaking, like consistently, even while down talent tiers.
Yeah, and they're not going to be down talent tiers for very long. Like,
no,
and you get a Blizzard onto that thing, and it's just going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, we had Zod disconnect from the game, so gonna have a bit of a pause coming out.
That's no
just
bueno.
barely before Roll1Esports are going to get their level 20s.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Hanzo's in a safe place right now, because with the recent Nexus anomaly, they also changed the AI. If someone disconnects, they just immediately start hearthing.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
like middle enemy team, backline, something.
Hearth.
Scary. Yeah, B-step. AI B-stepping.
We have one
So-
using the bathroom coming out from the spooky ghost. This game is very exciting. So I guess little tiny tanks couldn't hold it for the rest of the game.
Fair. Yeah, that was a good one.
He just yells out, "I'm lagging." I hit pause, and then he disconnects.
I can even hear like the robo lag sound. I'm lagging, like just the disconnect sound. So yeah, that's sounds good. God, level 20 so close for roll 1. All they need to do is drop a blizzard on those back minions, and they'll have it.
ETC going in with, the beta it created Bolt of the Storm coming out.
Oh my gosh.
Seraphim we're seeing for the second game, and Execute coming out from Jim Raynor. It's a really strong talent. A lot of DPS increase for him. We've already mentioned the Nano Fusion and the Kugelblitz.
Kugelblitz. That's a cool name. I wonder how they came up with that one.
I can tell you, a Kugelblitz is a theoretical black hole that is made of energy in an incredibly dense, packed-in area instead of one created by mass, because thanks to Einstein, at relativistic scales, mass and energy are equivalent to each other.
Yeah. Wow. Your astrophysics lesson here with Ektar.
Yeah.
That is cool.
All right, we do have Roll 1 ready. I forget, honestly, which team went to the bathroom. It was Spooky Ghost went to the bathroom.
You guys went to the
Rogoth
bathroom.
said that he's back. They're ready,
All right.
so
I'll count it.
You do the countdown. I will push the button.
All right, we did it, Ektar.
Yep.
20's now picked up for Roll1Esports. Let's see how fast they lock 3 in immediately.
More NATOs.
Yes.
I've maybe never seen that talent picked, and if it was like week 1 Deckard came.
Yep. You know what? Might not be the best talent, but it is going to be fun. There are going to be, more NATOs around.
Yep.
And I as an Oklahoman in May, really haven't seen a whole lot of those this season, and you know what? It's probably a good thing.
We do have the slide coming into Rock Your World. Takes a fair bit of damage, but avoids the follow-on Sleep Dart. Deckard Cain is gonna finish his level 1 quest. Bolt of the Storm being used defensively, and a lot of mini potions on the ground. Poe, step up and get the healing. Step up and get the healing, Poe. Did not decide that they wanted additional healing. We've got the Cold Hand of Death, which I have not seen too much of recently. Got a bit of a redesign with Zool's talent rework, and we've got Rogoth pausing this time. Eric is now lagging. That's a bit unfortunate. Hasn't disconnected yet, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lag quake across Canada. It respects national borders.
Ooh, this is where you have to flex your casting skills.
Little Wolf, please. We're so practiced with
Little
this.
do you know that we had to wait out an entire 10-minute disconnect and then continue a game with an AI Gul'dan on a TLV game in Infernal Shrines, okay?
This is easy.
Keep them Cali out of my Nevada. You know what? I live in California, and I'm not a huge fan of this state, but I am too economically invested in California to leave anytime soon, so
Why would you want
those
to
are
go
my
to
life choices.
Yep, life choices, you know?
I didn't decide to go to California. The military decided I wanted to go to
Yeah,
California.
the military, since you really want to.
I decided to buy a house here. That one's totally on me.
Yeah, but still Nevada?
Hakuna
I say,
Nevada.
knowing a friend in Nevada who voluntarily went there, so,
I mean,
what do I know?
I would go to Nevada. I just wouldn't stay.
They stayed there.
They did have WeenusCon 2019 in Nevada, so
That is a good reason to live in Nevada.
it's a good reason to go to Nevada.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. If WeenusCon's there, it might just be a permeable energy that is near year-round.
I wonder if Weenus has got a game right now that we can raid him after we're done here. Although, if these lag spikes happen for long enough, maybe we'll be the final cast event and won't have anyone to raid.
Well, I made it to this channel starting from Key's stream, made it to Murda by raid, and then Murda raided you, and I had 2 Ektar tabs open. So,
oh boy,
we just kind of we made it here no matter what.
We do have. I'm pulling up the calendar right now. Hopefully, people don't see that. We do have a game that started 13 minutes ago, so that's probably who we're gonna be. That is El Taquito. Stream.
El Taquito.
Oops, accidentally clicked on a Tassadar there real fast.
Mm.
Speaking of Tassadar, he's at 170 stacks on his level 1. That is 5 stacks for every Q that you land, so we can figure out exactly how many Qs he's landed across this entire game.
You want the number?
As I pull up my calculator, because I don't do mental math. To be fair, that's not exactly how many Qs he's landed, it's how many times he's hit it here with Q, because you can obviously hit more than one person per Q.
Fair enough, but we can't tell that.
Yeah.
He has hit 34 heroes with Q.
At some point. We have readies coming out from both sides, so I will count down a second time, and you you count down. I'll hit pause. That's how he did this last time.
Perfect. All right, back in it again. Roll1Esports. God dang it! Up here with the boss and the turn-in capable as.
I wonder if they're just gonna get a turn-in. They're not gonna rip boss. They see their opponents are in the bot lane, but they don't know how many people that is. That could just be Jimmy.
Yeah.
Zool did back to clear the catas that were built up on their core.
Yep. Fair.
Rocket World. They were attempting to engage onto Muradin, but Rogoth is not going to find that as the Stormbolt stopped him dead in his tracks. But
and
with his
Ektar.
This is going to spawn slightly past mid and probably just gets cleared before it does any consequential damage. Bottom lane might be the only one that takes any damage from this Web Weaver phase.
I was going to ask, how much structure damage gets dealt by the mid and top Web Weavers? Bottom we're going to ignore because Fort's inconsequential. How much keep wall and keep damage is going to be done here?
Some. They might lose that bottom fort here. Mid has a fairly large wave. This will take some damage. This might get like the whole wall, but I don't think it gets the keep.
All right, the Web Weaver did one wavy thingy on top. Now the team does rotate down and gets the mid wall, and you know what? That's the end of that, pretty much.
Well, there is still a team fight happening here. There could be more that happens. We do have Rogoth going in, slides onto Rocket World, but gets rooted himself, and that's the team fight.
That's it.
Fort does go down, but that was a 20-something minute Web Weaver, and it got a fort.
Blizzard! Blizzard, please buff. I wonder if it's partially because of catapult changes, because catapults do lots of damage to the Web Weavers.
This is true. They do lots of damage.
And they just kind of help clear, and there it goes.
We do have a pretty big wave in the bottom, however, that is literally one Tassadar Psystorm away. We do have R1E running to the top lane. And this is dangerous. This is how the game ends. I'm calling it now.
No. Not with
one way or another, this is how the game's gonna end.
Oh no, don't do this. Back out, Roll1Esports. You see the life flash before your eyes. The idea that we gave you in the cast on this map at the start where you beat us is not the path to victory here.
Alright, they do decide that they don't want to decide the fate of the game with a roll of the dice in the throw pit. So they back off.
Dice.
Yeah.
When you're the one in the throw pit, you're rolling with disadvantage. And
D&D jokes coming out for you.
They're Roll1Esports, Hector. Their whole team name's a D&D joke.
That's fair. We do now have Spooky Ghosts positioning around boss themselves. We do get a nice little Q throw there. That's not even... that is a level 1 stack for Merton, so that's all that... Oh, Redbeard's in a bit of a spot. Does get walled out by Tassadar. Starts taking some damage. We do have a nice Hanzo arrow. Comes out heading out onto several. Lots of damage. The Solo Mosh does get interrupted by the more NATO. And that is going to be a nice route coming out from Jaina. Is going to secure the first kill in this team fight. And honestly, this late in the game, a kill out onto ETC is probably enough to rip boss.
It definitely is. Jaina finishes her trait quest, Frostbite. Now 23 minutes into this game, but better late than never, I suppose, as that will come in handy at some point. Bruiser's picked up for Spooky Ghost, but Boss picked up not the throw pit for Roll1, and they're going to march with this down the top lane, and it's a lot better than a Web Weaver.
It sure is, because it'll actually do stuff to heroes.
Yeah, we saw that last game, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Boss did in fact secure a very pivotal kill that game. But this is still a defense that they can make as long as they don't let anyone die here. He says as Urel gets rooted, but immediately gets cleansed out by the Ana, I believe.
Yeah, Seraphim was used a little bit earlier. Eric with the K goes in pretty ham. Should have Seraphim up again and activates it. Top keep going down, and Roll1 looks to be taking the defensive position out of here. As I've heard everything from Raid Boss to Crap Core on Tomb of the Spider Queen, so I don't really know how to evaluate the core's damage output.
I don't think this one does a lot. Like, it forces people to move, which isn't nothing, but unless there's additional crowd control happening, you shouldn't ever really get hit by that wave.
Yeah,
So,
they're fairly wide, but still, it...
Yeah, but they're very reactable. Although we do have a bit of an engage coming out. Hanzo does have the global available. So it looks like probably Spooky Ghost want to make something happen before Hanzo has to rip arrow, but deciding not to, although they're going to let them get a turn in, and that's not good for them. Like,
Spooky Ghost, you
in
can't let...
theory, a turn in can get some pretty good value for the side of Roll1Esports, and they do have enough gems for it.
Yep, that is true. Bolted Storm used to get Rogoth out. He is not out, though. Rewind comes out. As we say out more and more times, Deckard Cain just misses. Big black hole! Absolutely.
Look at how many Psystorms that was.
Oh my god! And Roll1Esports going to run with their tail between their legs. Solo Mosh onto Murden is going to take him out. Deckard Cain running for his life. And that's the end of the game. Kugelblitz ends it all for Spooky Ghost. Holy crap.
Deckard Cain, this is not the path you wanted to take back to the Nexus. Little Wolf, I don't know if that actually gave vision with that E, but that completely doesn't matter. Boundary X just deciding to tank it. I don't even think this does anything besides 5% of a hero's health pool, which is not a lot. It might slow him a little bit. But that is going to be game number 3, and the series going over to Spooky Ghosts off the power of Kugelblitz.
Oh my gosh. Everything was going right for Roll1. They got the boss play. They got their turn-in ready. They got the good CC, but not quite enough on ETC.
And then they got into a line.
Yeah, and then they literally became a black hole, and they just went to the center and became part of the singularity.
Interestingly, this means that an old man can survive a black hole.
The one you would think could survive it the least.
Yeah.
Holy
I'm trying to figure out how to make a Stephen Hawking joke out of this, but it's just not quite coming into fruition.
Oh. Yeah, that's a tough one. But alright, well, Ektar, I believe if we can pop over to the proper channels, we can get an interview set up with Captain of Spooky Ghosts and work that out. But wow,
I don't remember, Ace, which captain was it that we tried to get an interview for and they were like already in a quick match game after?
I don't remember.
I need to look at my own VODs to figure out who that was, because that was hilarious.
That is so funny. Yeah, they won, and we're like, quick match celebration, everybody. Let's go. Pop your Novas and your Murkies. Let's go.
All right, we do have confirmation we're going to get Little Wolf in here. We're going to swap over on the NGS server so we can find each other.
All right, sounds good. I'm glad we picked the same channel.
I mean, it makes so much sense. Where
It really does, but at the same time, we clicked at the same time. Hey, Little Wolf.
Congratulations on your 2-1 victory.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
We sure
Yes, we
can.
can.
We just both had nothing to say immediately after you said thank you.
No worries, guys.
You have been thanked, and thank you for thanking us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
It was really back and forth in all 3 games, so it was a pleasure to cast.
Yeah, that was super fun. That was probably our closest series so far. It was so scary. They're so good.
You really missed an opportunity to say spooky there.
Oh God, the puns.
All right, so you had map pick for game number 1. You opted for Towers of Doom. Could you explain that pick for us?
We're so good on Towers of Doom, guys. No, Towers of Doom is just a map that we've gotten a lot of rehearsal on, I think. So we're just kind of comfortable going into that. I think a lot of the times when we struggle, it's when we don't have like a clear game plan. And for Towers of Doom, like it's a pretty straightforward map to shot call. So we don't have to keep as much of the map in mind when we're doing it.
If you don't mind my asking for a rather particular question for that map, why Urel? You guys had the opportunity to pick up Leo, and you chose specifically not to.
Let me tell you about Eric and how he messed up. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like, for real, like the pit of my stomach dropped, and I was like, we're gonna lose the game. This is gonna happen. Because literally, we were meant to pick the Leoric, and I think in like the 3rd pick or like the 4th pick or something like that. Because we had
3-4 round.
Pick,
Yeah.
3-4 round. Yeah. So we were like, all right, let's lock in the Leoric. And then at the end, he was like, oh shoot, I thought I had locked in, and he very much didn't. So, oof. Yeah, no. So if you want like some really great idea of like, oh, why did we, big brain them with the URL, it was we messed up.
I can't wait for the team to draft by just selecting nothing and seeing what Blizzard gives them.
The best one we've gotten so far on a game was a game where like a league game. I forget if it was NGS or Heroes Lounge where we took a hammer on accident on Battlefield of Eternity, and then it went so
great.
well.
That's actually like a legit thing. You can do
I
hammer
see
on
people
BOE.
just run hammer on BOE fairly often.
It worked out for us that game, and then it's never worked out ever again.
Perfect.
We had a similar one a few seasons ago. We weren't sure if we were going to draft a Gul'dan or if we were going to draft a Kael'thas, and then we didn't draft a tank, and we drafted both a Gul'dan and a Kael'thas, and had to answer exactly that same question in an interview.
Yep. So yeah, the URL, not on purpose, but Eric's URL is very good.
It worked out. He definitely did decently enough in the double soak department that it mostly kept up with Leo, especially after 7.
What really helped is that I think we had Joe that game, right? Joe Gul'dan. So like, those first couple of levels until we got to 7, we were able to kind of really supplement that by just really pushing out lanes.
Alrighty. And yeah, I think after level 10's hit, that game went more or less in your team's favor. Anytime that you landed a good Blessed Shield, there was a good follow-up Light Bomb, and then people just kind of died. So we saw that get banned out in the subsequent games.
Yeah, Johanna and doing just super solid synergy, in my opinion, as far as like just easy follow-up on it. It doesn't happen. The good part about Light Bomb is that it doesn't happen at the same time as when you cast it. So it's like automatic follow-up for something like Joe. So.
Yeah. And then for game number 2, you had map pick again, and you went to Cursed Hollow, which I think is a very different map from Towers of Doom. So
yeah,
what's up with that one?
I don't know. I was looking at the map pick at the map pool. We kind of had an idea of what heroes we wanted to play. What was the hero list for game 2? If you don't mind me asking, I forget.
Your team ended up drafting, in no particular order, Ana, Blaze, Greymane, Melganis, Mephisto. Yeah,
okay, yeah. So I think the priority pick for us that game was the Mephisto, right? Lots of super drawn out fights on that map. And I think Mephisto really excels on that, especially after you get something like Ana, where like the nano damage ends up being really, really difficult for them to deal with. And they ended up countering us with something really super sustaining. I already like Stukov into Mephisto in general, but then the Zarya and then the Dahaka really gave them a lot of sustain on the side of their team.
Yeah, at some point they just had so big of health bars and with such great sustain that you just kind of couldn't get enough damage in. It felt like.
Yeah. That last game, I don't know. It was so close at the end there. I think that game could have easily gone our way if we just backed a little bit earlier towards that last fight, because we did have that top lane pushing, but it was, I don't know, that last fight was very even. So it was difficult to tell.
Yeah, I think if who was on the Blaze? I think if unfortunately you hadn't gotten hit.
Eric.
Yeah.
It was Eric with K.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. If Eric hadn't gotten hit with the boss route into boss stun, then that team fight goes completely differently there.
Oh, the top one. Yeah.
And I think
that was.
I think that's one of the points where it's really started to snowball more in their favor.
Yeah, and we have to be careful about that because I think we've done greedy plays like that before, where we already saw the boss get captured, and at that point, because the boss is so close, it's almost like taking like a 6v5 because you have that one extra little bit of CC that could mess your team up.
Yeah.
Or even just split it.
And it was after they had captured the boss too, so it wasn't even like it was doing neutral things.
Yeah. So that was not our best moment for sure.
All right, and then map number 3 was the only time that you did not have map pick, and they opted for Tomb of the Spider Queen, which we felt was a bit of a strange pick from them, just because it's more akin to the map that they lost on than the map that they won on. So is Tomb a map that you do feel generally comfortable on?
It's a map that I've actually felt like we really struggle with for the longest time as far as like what we're prioritizing. I think we're getting better at it. I think it's awkward for that map at first when you're controlling, like when you want to get your turn-ins. Necessarily getting the first turn-in right away isn't very strong. And you really kind of want to be able to set up to do like a snowball situation where you're able to get those 2 turn-ins in. So that becomes a little bit more difficult for me to kind of wrap my head around sometimes.
Yeah, and we were saying during the cast, and I want to get your kind of opinion on this. Since the Nexus anomaly change, how do you think that's impacted this map?
You can't. The problem with this map is that, or with the anomalies just in general, and I think it goes just for all maps, is that when you have an advantage, specifically a structure, like an objective advantage that isn't controlled by your hero. So thinking like of like Spider Queen or Infernal Shrines, if it's not the Frozen Punisher, obviously,
right?
Or something like that can't like bait the anomalies damage. They become really difficult to do meaningful siege damage with your objective because it's really punishing to send your tank in there and then just have them die, right? So just diving in there and being aggressive and pushing that advantage is a lot more difficult, in my opinion. What we've found, at least for us, that works better is that we have to really prioritize drafting heroes that can safely do structure damage from like a good distance, or that can either do structure damage that's very contained, so it's not splashing around to the enemy team when we really want to push.
Yeah, and you can kind of see that with the pick of the mages, honestly. Like, Gul'dan, you can get 2 corruption nibs plus Q outside of tower range. You can get a lot of damage with Tassadar and stay at a very safe range.
Yeah.
And in particular on that map, Tassadar is some of the best wave clear in the game, and you guys were able to pull out really far in front in the early game with just superior wave clear.
Yeah, and that's what we're prioritizing, right? Because that's how you're in the lead in that map, right? Having not necessarily having the most turn-ins, but just having control of the gems and of the lanes is so big.
Yeah, like there was a rather like the last or second last turn-in from Roll1 literally got a fort. It was at like 13 minutes in the game. They got the bottom fort and no other structure damage. It's really unfortunate. 20...
We got to talk about that, unfortunately, because of like the lag issues, but we got to talk about what we were wanting to do there too, because we weren't really comfortable taking a fight at that point, right? We didn't have to force it. We were so far up ahead on just the map itself. And we were kind of getting to that point in the game where if you kind of throw a fight, you're going to just lose the game, right?
Yep. Which is exactly what we saw a couple minutes later.
Yeah. So having the Rainer there, specifically having Exterminator Rainer and having the Hyperion just made it a lot easier for us to just say, okay, well, let's just give them the turn in, and then they don't have that looming advantage over us anymore.
Alrighty. Ace, do you got anything for Little Wolf?
Please inform me of your reactions to that final Tassadar complete nuclear explosion of the enemy team.
We knew we were caught out there, and we knew that the arrow was coming out too. So we're like, please God, no, don't let this be how we throw. So after that happened, I was literally just spamming the R button on Tassadar, being like, please, someone die after this. It was so good.
It did.
Yeah.
Ta-
People died.
Yeah, people died. Tassadar, I don't want to say it, but I feel like his ult's so overtuned. It does so much damage, and it's so good.
It's so slow though, so it requires the coordination to make it actually hit anybody, or
Yeah,
for people to just line up in lightning bolt formation.
Yeah, that was a thing, right? They and that was something that they could have probably thought on their side, but I think the captain even messaged me. He's like, yeah, I felt like we were really, really grouping at the end there. And into Tassadar, that's such a big no-no, right? Because he'll take that and eat you for dinner.
Yeah. I guess just one final question from me then. Going back looking at game number 1, why were you not running with scissors?
Running with scissors.
Oh, I get to teach you a thing. So with
Okay, you get to teach me a thing.
With Anduin, if you use his W on the wall before a game starts, where it normally like stops projectiles and stuff from going past, when he does the W, he throws like out with his sword to make the ability go out. But because the projectile never comes back, he just keeps his sword out forever until he dies.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. So how do I do this again? I have to know.
Literally W the wall. Start of the game. That's
Yeah,
it.
before
It's
the
that simple.
0 second mark, and that's it.
And that's it. And then I get a sword for the rest of the game.
Unless you
Until
die.
you die. So don't die.
Yeah.
That's OP. That's the biggest shadow buff I've heard in my entire life.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty great. Amplifies your heals by 50%.
It doesn't.
Yep.
Does not.
I
do
believe
that.
it.
But
No,
it
I'm
does
sure.
let you assert dominance.
Yep. Daddy.
Ektar, eventually we will have the entire team, the entire league running with scissors as we cast more and more teams and tell them.
I really,
Thank you.
really hope so.
Spread the
literally
word.
next time I play Anduin in a league match, I'm gonna just like do it at the start and just be like shout outs to
Yep.
And speaking of shoutouts, it's our turn to give it over to you for any shoutouts that you have.
Tally. You're there. You're listening. I love you, dude. That was a fantastic black hole. MVP Tally. That's you. And also, just good job to my team. Like this, I'm pretty sure I've looked at the standings, and I don't think we've beaten this team before. At least not like in a match. So that always feels good. You know, I think we communicated well. Sometimes we kind of struggle, and our morale kind of gets a little bit shaken. And I think everyone played well. We didn't let the second game tilt us, and we were really productive and just really like constructive with each other today. And I'm really proud of my team for that.
Alrighty, well, thank you for coming in for this post-game interview. We appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of your series.
Hey, thank you so much.
All
All right, I'm leaving now. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, I think we can just
Alright.
finish out the rest of the cast here as we.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you everyone for coming by. I appreciate everyone for being active in chat. I am trying to stream just a little bit more, so getting that engagement and activity there. Twitch likes to see that. Big fan.
Mhm.
And yeah, now that I am between classes for a couple of weeks, I'm going to be looking to pick up a lot more games than I had at the start of the season. That's for sure.
That's exciting.
So-
more episodes of our podcast will be coming.